So today is just gonna be an introduction to chapter 2, which is measurement. And then measurement, it's all about we are using a wattmeter. So a wattmeter is a measurement equipment that it used to measure the power, and it measure it in watts. Okay. So first of all, before we start even discussing about measurements of power in the delta load or in the star load, we need first of all to represent our wattmeter. Okay. So the representation of this wattmeter, it's all about it's made of two coils. So you need to understand how does the two coils they are working by the representation already. So you have the current coil, because remember the power more often is all about VI and cos of a specific angle. Okay? So we're gonna have the voltage, current, and as well a given power factor. And then we said this power factor is always the angle between the difference between the voltage and the current. Okay? So this coil here, we call it to be the current coil. Current coil. And then there must be a specific current that needs to flow in that coil in order for this wattmeter to read. So we're gonna have a current. So let's say for instance this current is a current A. Okay? So when we are coming with our equation, it's all about we need to have a current A. If they say this current is B, here is gonna be the current B, which is flowing in my current coil. If it states current in C, which means there will be a current C that is flowing in that coil. Okay? And then we have as well this coil here. And then this coil is called to be the voltage coil. But what do we know about the voltage? The voltage is basically like a voltage drop. If I have a component, if my current is flowing, for instance, from A to the neutral point, okay, automatically I can come here and I will say my voltage here is going to be the voltage from A to the neutral point, because every time we measure the voltage, we always measure it in parallel with a component. So for instance, if I have that resistor, if I come with a voltmeter, I will put my positive leg that and I put a negative leg there. So which means I'm measuring the voltage across that. And the voltage is always measured in parallel with a component. So we need to have 2 points. Can you see? With a current, the current is just insane because the current only flow like that. But with a voltmeter, the current must flow from a specific point to another point. Okay? So for instance, as you can see, I have one leg. This leg, for instance, is coming from C. So I can come here and I say this voltage here, the I potential is C, because this current that is flowing, the current is flowing will be the current from C. Can you see that? So the current is from C, then I put C there. If the current is from A, which means I'm going to have a current A, I'm going to have a current A and the voltage which is going to be from A. If the current is from B, I'm going to have a current B, and then as well the voltage B. But what will be the end? The end of this voltage, the end of this voltage. Can you see what will be the end? Okay? So for instance, if this end of this voltage is connected, for instance, to point B, to point, let's say to the neutral. So when I come here, I can say it's connected to the neutral. If it's connected to C, and then I will come here, I will say what? C. If it's connected to A, then I will come here, I will say to A. The voltage measure between point A and point B and point A. That's how we read them. And automatically, I know that when I'm going to come here, it's going to be cosinus of the angle between what? The voltage BA and the voltage and the current IB. Can you see? So I need to know what is the angle of the current B, and then what is the angle of this voltage that's BA. So I need to know what is the angle of the voltage BA. So that when I go to my cosinus, it's going to be the angle of the voltage BA minus the angle of the current B. That's it. That's how you do your reading. Okay? So this is just some basic that we have explained on how to read. So let's say, for instance, now they give us a specific load. And I will start with the easiest one. I will start with delta load. So on this video, we just want to explain how to read our reading of the ammeter of our wattmeter. So I have a delta load, and then we know already how to deal with our delta load, how to get those currents. We know already how to deal with it from our chapter 1. So if they say that this wattmeter was connected in line A, which means that I'm gonna come A, C, and L as well as B, okay? And then in the problem it said that the wattmeter is connected in A. So I can come here, I put first of all the current coil, and I put the voltage coil. And then remember, with a voltage coil we say what? It needs to have an end. So you need to choose between C and B. Okay? So if in the problem they say it was connected between A and B, the voltage coil is going to be between A and B. So you come here, you put between A and B. And you see that? Okay? So the question is now, what is the reading of this ammeter? This wattmeter. First of all, what I'm going to say is that I'm going to have a current from A that is flying. Then I come here. The wattmeter in A, it requires a current A. But the voltage, which voltage is it? As I can see, the current is moving from A to B. So it's going to be the voltage AB. And therefore my cos is going to be cos of the angle between VAB and the current A. If in the same problem again, they come here and they say this wattmeter was connected, the voltage coil was connected between A and C. What changed? The current still the same because the current that is flowing in the current coil is IA. But the voltage will be from A to C. Then I can come here, I put C, and then I come here, I put C. Can you see that? So what you need to read is, what is the current that is flowing in the current that is flowing in the coil current, and the voltage which is going to be from the high potential to the to any point, can be C or B. And this is also applicable in both. If they put the wattmeter in C, same concept. Wattmeter in B, same concept. But now, if we're in the case now, we have to connect two wattmeter. Concept still the same. But remember, this current, this wattmeter needs to have a common point. Okay? And therefore, what's going to be the common point? The common point is going to be where we don't have the wattmeter, so it's going to be B. Okay? And already what's going to happen? We start, for instance, for the wattmeter in A. Wattmeter A. Wattmeter A, we're going to have a current IA, but the voltage is going to be the voltage A to B. A, B, and then cos of the angle between the voltage AB and the current IA. Okay? But now, for C, we can see that we are having a current IC, which is flowing. So it's going to be with wattmeter C, we have a current C. But what will be our voltage? The voltage is going to be from C to B. So we're going to have the voltage C, B times cos of the angle between the voltage CB and the current C. So no matter where they put it, this is how you do your reading of the wattmeter. Even if they put 3 wattmeter, but it's not applicable, but most of the time, this is what's gonna happen here. Okay? For the delta load. But the problem is, how do we get this current? A, the current. C, the current IA. to get the three currents, you're going to do the same as the one you did in chapter 1. That's why I say there was a mistake in the textbook, because first of all, you need to know how to calculate the two currents. Now you can do your measurement. That's why you see I put chapter 1 to become something else, and I changed the order because this is how it's supposed to be. Okay, so now this is for the delta load. Now we're going to have a look on the star load, and remember the concept still the same. So for a star load, we know already what does our star load look like. This is our star load, and then we have the neutral point, and then we have our supplier A, neutral, C, and B. So, if you're in the problem when they say a wattmeter was connected in A, you come here, you put a wattmeter, the current coil, you put the voltage coil. Now you need to choose where is it to end. And more often from the data load, it always ends to the neutral point. But they can change. If they put it at C, you're going to put it at C, but you put it at the neutral point. So now what's going to be the reading of this wattmeter A? First of all, we're going to say that we have a current A that is flowing in the current coil. Then we say current A. But what will be the voltage? The voltage that is flowing is the voltage from A to the neutral point. So it's going to be the voltage VAN. Then time cos angle of the voltage AN and the current A. Okay? And then if they say the wattmeter again was connected, another wattmeter was connected in C, for instance, then you come here, you put your wattmeter current in there, and then the voltage coil there, and therefore it went to the neutral point. So again, I'm going to read what's going to be the reading of the wattmeter C. First of all, we have the current C, and then you come here, current C times the voltage. Which voltage? Voltage from C to the neutral, Cn, times cos the angle of the voltage VCN, the current IC. So you can do the same for B, we can do the same for A. No matter what happened, that's how you read. And then you know already how to calculate this current when you have a delta load. Okay? Because you have an impedance there, ZA, ZB, ZC. So your IA is going to be VA divided by ZA. You know already. Your IC is going to be VC over ZC. From the